As underground rock evolved throughout the 80s, several subcultures would emerge by the turn of the decade. One of these subcultures, slowcore, was defined by downtempo instrumentation, melancholic and socially barren lyrics, and emphasis on stripped-back yet full guitar sounds. Enter Codeine, a band from New York that would inevitably spill more influence than they could have ever imagined. Comprised of Stephen Immerwahr, John Engel, and Chris Brokaw, their first album, 1990's Frigid Stars, would further the development of slowcore, following the footprints left by acts like Galaxie 500 and American Music Club. Today, we're here to take a look at it. Well, it's been a while, Sincerest apologies for that. I can't say I've got much of an excuse for my absence this time, I just haven't been in the mood to create videos. But I'm back now, hopefully, for a while, and I've got a special album to cover today. Similar to my last video where I covered the legendary Galaxie 500's most important albums, we're going to go over another depressing indie classic that spawned a genre of its own. I've been listening to this album pretty consistently for about 3 months now, and I think it's about time I gave it its due. At the same time, I've also noticed that I cover a lot of albums that are seen as depressing or melancholic or dark. I promise nothing's wrong, okay, guys and gals? Anyway, let's dive into the album itself and quit messing around. Frigid Stars as an album sounds exactly like its title. Engel's guitar riffs are, well, frigid, yet bright. Immerwahr's vocals and bass lines are uncomfortable at points, yet ring out like bleak, cold bouts of passion, and Brokaw's drumming is slow, yet filled with tension. The high-low dynamic put into play on songs like Cave In and P, heck, even across the entire album, are reminiscent of some of the style's pioneers, like Sonic Youth and the Pixies. This album sounds like Slint's Spiderland before Spiderland came to life, minus the wonky time signatures and all that jargon. However, in most areas, Frigid Stars soars high due to the unconventional and sometimes hard to stomach vocals of Stephen Immerwahr. Above the wash of weary, booming drums, droning guitar and bass, Immerwahr's vocals are equally as tortured as the lyrics he sings. Perhaps the best example of this is New Year's, a song written by Soo Young Park, a friend of the band's, who would later record the song himself with his own band, Seam, in 1991 or 92, I don't know the exact date. The track opens with a crisp riff defined by two primary chords, E major and A major, with each chord rounded off by arpeggios, before Immerwahr's bass and Brokaw's drumming break into the mix, culminating in the arrival of the vocals. His voice is strained and hopeless as he sings lyrics like, "Today's another day, you do what you can, and feel so sad, so bad today, all our friends have gone away," which are somewhat basic in the grand scheme of depressing lyrics, but still provide such an intense, overarching feeling of numbness and heavy emotional weight. For this reason, I often cite New Year's as my favorite track from the album, with its only competition being closing track P. P is almost a collection of all the pent-up feelings that this album has held in since it began almost 40 minutes ago, before releasing them, all of them, in one cathartic and distorted explosion of guitar and drums halfway into the song. It is a truly powerful and perfect finish to the album, wrapping things up just as one would expect, not leaving the listener hungering for a conclusion. Other noteworthy highlights include Cave In, album opener D, the trance-like Second Chance, and the beautifully fuzzy Three Angels, in which Immerwahr's nasally and droning vocals, reach a level of shoegaze-esque encapsulation into the music itself. Upon first, second, and several other listens alike, Frigid Stars impacted me in a way that few albums have ever done throughout its entire runtime. It kept me attentive and craving more, not only as a listener, but as a music maker. For a long time now, I have sought out some of the bleakest, weariest, and emotionally drained albums, as the style of such albums enthralls me creatively. I seek albums with emotional weight, whether it is happy or melancholic doesn't matter, but I also look for albums that can carry the same formula without getting tired. Some may argue that this routine actually ruins Frigid Stars as a whole, but I think the uniqueness that every song carries, while still maintaining the same structures and ideas, is truly fascinating and makes the album one of my favorites. Perhaps not of all time, but certainly over the last 3 or so months, and I would definitely put this among my top 10 albums that I've discovered this year so far. With every listen, I find myself warmed up to its slow, sad charms more and more, something I have with many albums, but not in the indescribable sense that this album has. And yes, while this album has its weak points and sour spots, particularly in the realm of Immerwar's vocals, the overall product that Codeine has created is about as addictively mind-numbing as the opiate that they lifted their name from. It is truly an innovative, influential, and thoughtful masterpiece of its genre. At the time of writing this review, Frigid Stars is currently ranked at number 21 on my top 42 albums. And with that, I give Codeine's Frigid Stars a 9.5 out of 10. Hey everybody, Gabe here. How y'all doing today? So I know it's been quite some time since I did a video. At the time of recording this, I'm about a week away from 2 months since my last video, which again, I'm incredibly sorry for. Like I said, my motivation to make videos just has not been there. It's been a very busy summer. It's been a very eventful summer, and I've not had the time to really sit down and kind of dedicate myself to my channel. And for that, I am very sorry. I know I've always said this, I always say I plan to get back into it. Plans do fail, I know. But this time I plan to devote as much time as I can to videos, when I can, because, you know, I do work, I do have a job, I'm about to be starting college. It's going to get pretty busy here in a bit. I do have some definitive video ideas on the way. A couple of projects that I did have planned did fall through, which is okay. You know, we can build them back up, and I do have plans to remake some videos that I've made in the past that I wasn't satisfied with. They will be out at some point in time, I don't know when, but I will have 2 reviews for 2 more albums I discovered this year that are pretty impactful to me so far. And I will probably also be doing a review of 2 new albums this year in next month, or I guess maybe it'll be one next month and then one in September. If you can figure out what albums those are, you get extra points, but I'm not going to spoil the surprises until the time has come. Anyway, enough ranting. Thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Please feel free to subscribe, comment, like, do whatever you want. I don't really care. It's up to you. Keep being awesome, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.